it, but like,
yeah, up close, kind of. Yeah, okay.
All right. Yep. Welcome to the Tune HQ podcast. It's not even what it's called. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tuned In podcast by Tune HQ. This is the first episode of hopefully a long series.
Okay.
This is hopefully This is hopefully going to be just the first video. This is hopefully going to be just the first episode of many to come. This is not a podcast, and this is also not a late night show. It's both. I'm not. This is not easy. Let me take a sip. There's gonna be so many cuts in the beginning. Like it's just gonna be so unnatural. I'm your host, Jake. One of them. This is my co-host, Trey. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Like I said, my name's Jake. I'm the founder of Tune HQ and the co-host of Tuned In. I am a musician and guitar player, and all the artists I'm into you see behind me now. You can introduce yourself now.
I'm Trey. Like I just said, I'm not a musician. I don't play anything. I just listen to music a lot. I go to a lot of concerts, and I listen to pretty much everything other than rap.
There we go. I like that. Me too. I don't listen to rap, but I like rap. I like old rap.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we have a lot of segments for you guys of things we're going to be talking about because this isn't a podcast. This is a show. So we're going to hop right into it. The first segment is music in the news. Take it away, Trey.
Joni Mitchell just released her entire discography back on Spotify. Today was Jake and I's first time listening to Joni Mitchell or Blue.
Yep.
Yeah, Blue. We listened to that as a whole.
Yep.
I fell in love with it. I kept on listening to it. He went to class and comes back, and I'm still listening to Joni. I was in the shower listening to Joni and everything. Some standouts for me are the Both Sides Now. I feel like that song is absolutely just beautiful, just written. It's just her and a guitar. And the entire Blue album, I mean, I don't know, like, I'm in a relationship now, so I don't understand everything that she's saying. Like, a lot of it is about, like, breakups and everything. Mm-hmm. But just how she's an amazing lyricist. I've never seen, like, anything like that from, like, another artist, in my personal opinion.
Okay, so. I agree. I thought, personally, I think every other song was really good. I liked, I got the album tracks right here. I liked Little Green, Carrie, A Case of You. You know, I don't really listen to words as much because I know you do. But just the acoustics on this was really good. It reminded me a lot of like Simon and Garfunkel, and I love them. So what else we got for news?
Neil Young, was it last Friday, released his discography
so.
back on Spotify?
Yeah, but it was only like greatest hits.
Yeah, but now everything is back on it.
Yeah, I think as of like
back on it.
The last 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Just for reference, by the way, we're filming this on a Friday, so you'll probably see it the next week. What's
March 22nd?
March 22nd. Friday, March 22nd is when we're filming this, just for reference. So these are all very new. Obviously, these artists have been around since the 70s, but it's very exciting to have them back on Spotify after the whole COVID thing with the Joe Rogan podcast. Personally, like, I'm not going to lie, like I think it's kind of silly for people like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell to take off because of, Joe Rogan, but I'm glad it's back. Mm-hmm. And you don't even have to get me started on Neil Young. Like, I love all the Neil Young stuff. Mm-hmm. So Joni Mitchell was new, but yeah, I mean, Neil Young, Harvest Moon, Harvest, like, those albums are some of the best acoustic albums. All this stuff with Crosby, Stills, and Nash is good.
Deeper Well by Kacey Musgraves came out last week as well, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. I haven't listened to this.
It's still fresh, but We'll dive into that a little later in this podcast.
Okay.
And then I added, if there's any Big Thieves out there, Big Thief, it's a band, it's kind of indie.
Mm-hmm.
Their lead singer, Adrienne Leaker, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Her new album, Bright Future, is out. I listened to a couple of the tracks. It was really good. She's another really good lyricist, just kind of like her and a guitar.
Mm-hmm. You could write me someday, and I think you will. We could see the sadness as a gift and still feel too heavy to hold.
I looked at Pitchfork. It had like an 8.4 or something on there. Anthony Fantano, obviously, his opinion is very, like, opinionized and everything. A lot of people don't agree with it.
His opinion is very opinionized.
Okay.
Can you explain that?
I feel like one of the most highlighted, like, Anthony Fantano albums, I feel like, is The Money Store by Death Grips, because he gave that like a 10.
Right.
And have you listened to it?
Yeah, so absolutely.
Exactly. It's just, I like it.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's good, but is it a 10? No.
Probably not. And probably a lot of the things that he gives, like 5s and 6s, are probably 8s and 9s.
Exactly. Like, there are some albums where I'm just like, that deserves a lot better.
That's a whole other conversation. I mean, I guess while we're on that topic, this podcast, we should probably make it clear that it's very biased, I guess, opinionated. It's not very news. What am I looking for? What's the word? Like,
it isn't facts.
It's not facts.
It's just our opinions on the music
that
we're listening to, that we're talking about. It isn't like, oh, this sucks, and that's a fact. We just don't like it because of the reasons we are going to explain.
We're just here for a good time.
Exactly.
And that's what music is all about here at Tuned In Podcast by Tune HQ. So this is, I mean, not to get off track, but, this is a new branch of Tune HQ. Most of our following comes from TikTok, so that's probably where you're seeing clips, of us or whatever. So I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, we're excited to do this. Trey is a new shareholder in this company. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting road.
I'm excited to be here. I'm happy to be here. I love talking about music.
Yeah. Because
we have a platform now.
Right. We got this whole idea because like this is literally like it's a Friday night right now. Mm-hmm. This is what we do on Friday nights. So, we think it's pretty funny sometimes.
Yeah.
It's interesting and we have a lot to say. So, I'm sure a lot of people will get something out of this, hopefully. If not, then, whatever. We're still going to do it because this is too fun.
Exactly.
Like, it really is too much fun because, it feels natural. This is just what we do anyways.
Exactly.
So, microphone or not, whatever.
Yeah.
So music in the news is probably going to be something we do every podcast episode, pretty standard. We won't delve too much. We just hit the checkpoints, but we didn't go into each one too much. We just want to keep you up to date on what we're listening to, what's going on in the world, just so we stay relevant. But we have a lot of other fun things to talk about, which leads me to the next segment, which is
Record of the Week.
Record of the Week.
So this is opinionated, again, as previously stated. So Record of the Week is Deeper Well by Kacey Musgraves.
Right, as it just came out.
Yeah. I personally, Jake, you haven't listened to it yet, right?
I haven't listened to it. I only listened to the singles, and I only liked Deeper Well out of the 2 singles.
And that's what I wrote. Like, Deeper Well is probably my favorite song off the album. Obviously, Golden Hour, that album.
That's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Exactly. I love that album. What was that? What is the other album she has? Starstruck, I'm pretty sure. It's
Star-Crossed.
Star-Crossed.
Mm-hmm.
It's the red one. I don't have any songs liked off of it. There
was some okay ones, but nothing to rave about. No. Probably her worst album out of them all. I'm not too familiar with the beginning, like the earlier stuff, but I do know it better than the new ones.
But like Merry-Go-Round and like
obviously.
Follow Your Arrow. So like if we look from there to like where she is now, obviously her sound has changed and evolved. Yeah. And a little bit like then she was kind of like real country, you know what I mean?
Which I like.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying anything's bad with it. I'm just saying like it's still country, but in like a whole new way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then like the whole Starcrossed was very 80s pop.
Exactly.
Like every
Synth
album
and everything.
Every album during that time, like couple that come to mind is The Weeknd's album, Harry's House, that's all 80s synths, and then like John Mayer's Sob Rock, that's all 80s keys. You know, like that was just kind of a trend. So I guess like you can't fault her for like leaving that, but that's just so out of her element to do like the keys and the synths and the pulse waves and like all those 80s laser noises. Like we don't need that. Like sure, it's good to do, you know, something that's outside of your comfort zone or whatever people are used to, but in Kacey Musgraves' situation, I think she obviously learned that her roots are where all of her fans are. So I think the whole Deeper Well, I mean, you know, I haven't listened to it, but is it kind of closer to her albums prior to the 80s one, Starcrossed?
Yes. Like I see a lot of resemblance between Deeper Well and Golden Hour.
Like the tracks or the albums?
Like the albums are similar in my opinion.
Okay, the albums.
In my opinion, like how they sound and everything. As I don't know if I said this before, but like I'm a big lyric guy. Like I like analyzing what they're saying, why they're saying that. And the lyrics here in Deeper Well, I just don't feel like they hit as hard as like Golden Hour. And I feel like Golden Hour was kind of like perfect all the way through. Like lyric wise, sound wise, it was just perfect. Like I don't know.
Okay. Interesting. I might listen to it. I might not. I don't know. I loved Golden Hour. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough with that kind of stuff, especially like when they're branching out into this new sound with Starcrossed, the 80s thing, and now artists are realizing that like that trend is dead, obviously.
Exactly.
So going back, it's hard to like adjust from just kind of skipping the Starcrossed album. So, you know, unfortunately, we're just comparing her new stuff to her older stuff and skipping the middle stuff. But that's a whole other story. I'm getting on a tangent. So record of the week, you know, it's going to change every week. It might not always be a new one.
Yeah.
But in this case, it felt right to probably just do a newer release. But, you know, maybe next week I'll review an older one because I like old music. I think that's where we don't differ, but you know a whole lot more about stuff that came out in the 21st century. Yeah. And I know more about the 20th century.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
You know, we'd love to hear, if there's anybody watching, we'd love to hear what albums you want us to talk about. So, you know, we'd be glad to do it. We'd be glad to listen to it even if we haven't. So let's end off this segment. What was your favorite track off Deeper Well? Was it just
It was the title track, Deeper Well.
My Saturn has returned. When I turned 27, everything started to change. Took a long time, but I learned.
They also have, I'm pretty sure it's called Cardinal, kind of like that one.
Okay.
But
yeah, I did hear about that one. In terms of like lyrics, I heard that one was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deeper Well was off of that album my favorite.
Well, there you have it, folks. So maybe listen to it. Is it worth it?
I'm saying it's worth it. Everyone's opinion might differ. Like if you like Golden Hour, you'll probably like this one. Okay. So listen to it.
Yeah, out of 10.
I'll give it like a 7.6.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Record of the week, folks. There it is.
Deeper Well, Kacey Musgraves.
All right. All right. So we took a little break, but we're back. Now we're talking about what we have on repeat. So this is going to be another segment, just talking about what we're listening to out of pure enjoyment, I guess. Yeah. This is just what we like. So I guess I'll start. What I've been listening to a lot lately is 70s singer-songwriter stuff. A lot of Bob Dylan. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. I've been listening to Blood on the Tracks, which has Buckets of Rain. It has Tangled Up in Blue. I don't know if you know that one.
I've heard about it.
That's a good song. Other than that, we're looking at our Spotify right now. This is an artist I really want to mention because I feel like they're kind of becoming a little trendy on TikTok, based on what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
So Liz to Mania, I first heard that song 2019 era, I think.
Yeah.
And then I discovered 1901, and then I started seeing that on TikTok. I don't know if you have.
No,
but I've been seeing it everywhere.
You played it one time, and I was like, I really like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I don't know if anyone else has seen the movie Boyhood. I don't know why. I just like said Boyhood. And they had that song, and I'm like, okay, wow, this is weird. And then it was all over my TikTok page. I'm like, this is getting weird.
Is it from the movie, you think, or?
I don't think so, because the movie has been out for like a while, and it's been on like streaming services. It hasn't just come out on streaming services, so I don't know why it's just. But Listomania, you put me on that.
Oh my god, that is such. I mean, that song, it just doesn't it doesn't feel like it's stuck in a genre. It doesn't feel stuck in an era. You don't need like a certain vibe to listen to that. It's just like universally a great song.
Yeah.
Anything else that I've been listening to? Let's see. Well, I mean, there's not a day that goes by where I'm not listening to the Grateful Dead. You know that.
Yeah.
I listen to them more than probably the healthy amount is. Right now, the songs that I'm listening to most are the blues songs. So how can I recommend a song here? Mr. Charlie is my favorite Grateful Dead song right now. It's a blues song. R.I.P. Pigpen. That's a Pigpen song. If there's any Deadheads that know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Grateful Dead. That's always on repeat. Like I said, Bob Dylan. He never leaves the playlist. And you know, with the whole thing with Phoenix, I don't know. I don't even I know nothing about them.
Mm-mm.
All I know is like a few songs, but they're good. So that's those two songs are songs that I would recommend to like any music listener.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody could like those songs. So, you know, that's what I've been listening to.
And no, I wouldn't let you think so.
Trey, what about you?
So I've been listening to a lot of Animal Collective recently.
Okay, yeah, I know them.
And one of their the most popular album I feel like they have is Merriweather Post Pavilion. And to anyone watching, I'm from Maryland. And Merriweather Post Pavilion is a venue in Maryland, and it's the type of venue where you have like the pavilion, and then you have like the lawn section. And I've seen countless musicians there. I've seen Lord there. I've seen who have I seen? The Head and the Heart there. I've seen Tyler Childers there, etc. So I've seen like just so many people, and I was like, okay, I'll listen to it. And I've known about this album. It has songs like My Girl on it and everything. So. And it's a weird kind of band. It's a weird band. Mm-hmm. The sounds...
It's kind of... Isn't it like... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I've been around when you've had them on. Is it like... I don't want to say techno, but like very electronic?
Yes, very electronic. So I kind of stepped away from Merriweather Post Pavilion because that's all I've known. Mm-hmm. And I listened to their album Feels, which... I feel like kind of, I'm not going to say dials down on the amount of electronic it uses, but still electronic, but I don't know. I like it. Purple Bottle off of that album is one of my favorites. I've also been listening to Champagne Coast by Blood Orange a lot. Okay. And I know you don't know it, but I'm not familiar. It was on Euphoria. And that's not the reason I saw it on TikTok. And obviously it's a TikTok song now. And I just fell in love with it because it gives me like that summertime type of vibe and everything. Just kind of like riding in the middle of the night, just windows down. It's blaring and everything.
I love that kind of music. And not to stop you in your tracks, but we've been listening to, like, I think it was 2 days ago, but then like a month ago, we also listened to a lot of Rex Orange County and like Boy Pablo. Even like Frank Ocean and I think Tyler the Creator, Calero, like all those guys.
I mean, just Saturday we were listening to just Mac DeMarco with like just like
one like purple light on,
and it was such a vibe.
Dude,
it was such a vibe.
I don't think there's anything that's like better than like reminiscing on the music that brings you back to a specific time. Like, and in this instance, like when we played Rex Orange County and like Calero, you know, all these artists, it just like I just thought of like summer, like kind of around COVID, a little before, a little during, a little after, like just reminded me of the summer, like going outside for the first time again, bike rides. Oh my god. And like it's so weird because we're from two different states, you know. I'm from Buffalo, you just said Maryland. It's weird that like the exact same songs match with the exact same timing and the exact same activities. Like the whole, you just said like driving with the windows down in the middle. Like, oh my God, it just that I don't even know, is it bedroom indie? I guess
A bedroom pop.
It was like the most popular genre at one point, and now it's kind of like gone a little bit. It's
I
not in the
miss it.
mainstream. Yeah, it was just so like innocent,
Mhm.
you know. I miss it so much. The what is it? God, I'm gonna sound like a nerd for not knowing this. Prune, you talk funny.
Oh, Gus Dapperson.
Gapper,
Yeah.
is it Dapper?
Dapperton? Gus something, but he opened up for Hippocampus because my friend saw Hippocampus. And
Dapperton. Gus
Dapperton.
Yeah.
Gus Dapperton opened up for Hippocampus, and my friends saw them, and they said they liked Gus Dapperton better than Hippocampus because he just had so much energy.
Yeah.
Like Prune, you talk funny. I mean,
That
it's-
song is the epitome of what I was just talking about.
Exactly.
That is the epitome of the whole just like sunflower, bedroom indie, bike ride
like
aesthetic.
it's not even like it's kind of like a spring type of vibe.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like summer and spring, they oftentimes like it interweb together. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But to me, they're like two completely different things.
Right. Like I would put like Tyler the Creator's Flower Boy. Like
Yeah,
that's a spring.
spring.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Brings me back. I don't really listen to that as much, and like we don't listen to that on a daily basis, but going back to that stuff is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
So what segment are we? We're on on
On
repeat.
repeat.
So that's what's been on repeat for us.
Yeah. One more band.
Yeah.
Turnover. Probably going to be seeing them tomorrow.
That's right.
Tomorrow night.
That's right.
In case anyone here doesn't know, we go to the University of Tampa. They're
We
coming.
should probably say
They're
that.
coming to Tampa tomorrow night. I was between that or another band called Beach Fossils, but I've already seen Beach Fossils, so I think I'm gonna go to Turnover tomorrow. Tickets are like $35, cheap, small venue.
Mhm.
Probably gonna go tomorrow night. So
There
that's
you go.
what's been on repeat for me.
Yeah, I guess we probably should have said that in the beginning. We're based out of Tampa right now, just to add a little flair. Filming in our dorm room, if you can't tell, but this is the podcast studio setup. Anyways, on repeat, we're gonna do this every episode as well. This will probably be a staple segment. But let's get into some fun ones. So now we have this or that. So this or that is going to be a segment that we're going to alternate, basically where you're going to find a little bit more about us, because we're going to be presented with two artists, albums, songs, what have you. And the other person is going to ask, would you prefer this person, this album, or that person, that album? Until we have a winner.
Mhm.
So this week is what?
Artists.
And I
So-
have to decide whether I'm picking this artist or that artist.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm going to be doing just for my own.
Mhm.
So you're going to have two artists, right?
Mhm.
And then the one that I don't pick, you're going to substitute with a new one,
Yep.
right? Until I go through the line, right?
Yep. All right.
Okay. So
You ready?
yes,
This-
I am ready.
This
so
first one's going to be hard for you.
I know what it's
Bob
going to be.
Dylan or Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead.
Okay.
Grateful Dead.
Okay.
You shouldn't have started with the Grateful Dead, because I'm just going to say the Grateful Dead for every answer now.
Okay, here we go then. Grateful Dead or Jack Johnson?
Grateful Dead,
Yeah.
easily. But can I say Jack Johnson? Back to the I know you don't have this connection as much as I do, but that is another one of those artists that just brings you back to a certain time like that. But that doesn't bring me back to like 2019 COVID era. It brings me back to every single Sunday
Okay.
drinking coffee.
Okay.
People that are Jack Johnson fans could agree with me. Like,
Okay.
if you listen to Jack Johnson, you literally just want to take your shoes off, like go run in the grass and have
Yeah.
a coffee. Anyways, I still pick the Grateful Dead.
Okay.
But Jack Johnson, that's a good one.
Grateful Dead or John Mayer?
Okay. So if I'm being honest, I would want to pick John Mayer only because he is like a hero to me as a guitar player. I don't look up to the Grateful Dead as a whole band. Maybe Jerry Garcia, but he's dead, so I don't really get to like be like excited for new albums, new releases. I don't know anything about him because there's not as many interviews. John Mayer is more like, he kind of followed the same path as me, like small town kid that got into like Jimi Hendrix and then discovered the Grateful Dead. Like that's exactly how I got into the Grateful Dead. Like my favorite guitar player is Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then I found John Mayer after that. And then I also was into the Grateful Dead, like American Beauty. Like I knew all those songs, Front of the Devil, Ripple,
Yeah.
but I didn't know like all their trippy stuff. I knew Althea, but But then I saw like the whole Dead and Company thing, and then I went and saw Dead and Company. I was like, oh my God, like there's so much more than just like country, Americana, folk music. And then I got into that just brought me to the whole thing. So I guess Grateful Dead I like better and I enjoy more, but I'm going to go with John Mayer only because he's kind of like my gateway drug. So I'm going to say John Mayer.
Okay.
Sorry I'm kind of dragging this.
No.
But I kind of want to explain my answers.
John Mayer, The Beatles.
Oh, God. That's another hard
Yep.
one. That's another hard one. I'm going to say John Mayer, but the Beatles are the reason I'm into the music I'm into today.
Okay.
They're the reason I picked up a guitar. That's all I'm going to say about them.
John Mayer or Dave Matthews Band.
Another hard one because they're kind of the exact same in that whole like aspect of like growing up with them. John Mayer again.
John Mayer or Led Zeppelin.
John Mayer. Shout out Led Zeppelin. No. Yo, shout out my boys Led Zeppelin. They're killing it. Since 1990. When did they break up? Do we even know? I don't know. Probably before 1990.
Right.
Did you know this about Led Zeppelin, by the way? Did you know they broke the record for the most people in attendance at a show in Tampa after the Beatles?
No.
So the Beatles played Shea Stadium, I think. And that was...
Where the hell is Shea Stadium? It's in Tampa?
No. Zeppelin played in Tampa, and they beat the Beatles records.
Oh.
So let me just do a quick little Google. Shea Stadium Beatles. So basically the Beatles played this show. It was their last show ever before they quit touring because they just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
It's in it's in New York. Right?
Okay.
Obviously. So the Beatles played in New York at Shea Stadium, and they had like I can't remember if the record is loud. I think it's the largest attendance, but they held the record in '66. It's their last show ever besides their rooftop concert.
1966 was when they stopped.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So they were just a studio band for the rest of their career until 1970. But then I think it was 71, 72. I can't really remember, but it doesn't matter. Led Zeppelin played in Tampa at the Bucks.
Raymond James.
At Raymond James. I don't think it was called Raymond James though.
Okay.
But they broke that record, and I don't know if it's been broken. I'm gonna assume Live Aid, like the Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that was a little bit bigger.
Was that in the UK?
Yeah. So, but that's a little fun fact about Led Zeppelin. Like here in Tampa, it's a weird. Like Tampa, Florida is a weird state to have that kind of.
Yeah.
Because not too many artists even come this way.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's so out of the way. Because you have to like. I feel like if you're going down the East Coast, you usually just kind of skip Florida because then you have to go out west. Mm-hmm. So to just come down to like Tampa, then you have to go back up. It's just kind of like out of the way.
Yeah.
So that's
also not to like break this conversation. No. Shout out John Mayer. He follows the account. So I'm just going to say he's not listening to this. There's no way. But I'm glad I said John Mayer over the Grateful Dead and over all these other artists because he's a fan of the account. So. We do have some clout there.
Shout out John Mayer.
You're talking about the state of Florida. I'm like, John Mayer follows us. I made the right decision. Okay. He's going to unfollow us now. Anyway, go ahead.
John Mayer or Coldplay?
John Mayer.
Yeah.
But Coldplay is the soundtrack to my childhood. Like, if there was one band.
All I'm going to say about the rest of these artists, they're kind of like artists that we've discussed, but like they're mutual, you know?
Okay.
Like John Mayer is obviously like you and everything. Bob Dylan's you. But like this is kind of interwebbing us now.
So let's transition then. We're going to put John Mayer on the in the back right now.
Okay.
Let's start fresh with two new artists, and then we'll come back to John Mayer at the very end.
Here we go. Bon Iver or Coldplay?
Okay. I'm gonna say I want to say Coldplay only because I only like Bon Iver's first album.
Oh, okay.
Like I like the stuff that you play, but to me, like I forget about it easily and I don't come back to it.
Okay.
Like I like when you play like Calgary.
Off of Bon Iver.
Yes, I liked that one, but like I can't even remember if that's the right. You know what I'm saying? Like if we talk about Pharrema, that's like one of 5 or so albums that I can like listen to front to back multiple times a month and never maybe the only actually like that one. It's such a good album.
Yeah.
Every single song. Obviously, I think I think Stacks is my go-to, but that's obviously like a suicide song. Like that is a terrible song.
Story about that song.
Yeah.
Just to get this out.
Let's hear it.
In what was it? I'm pretty sure I was a junior in AP Lang, and my teacher in high school. We're freshmen in college right now. Junior in high school taking AP Lang. My teacher was kind of like, bring in a piece of literature. So I brought in a lyric from regarding Stacks. And it's Black Crow, like
dangling his keys. Yeah,
and like that
his wiry legs across.
Yup,
we get it.
And just kind of like analyzing that, like just that, like symbolism and imagery of like Justin Vernon's like just depression during this entire album. Like I know that's like kind of like where this album's so depression. No, like this is a depressing album. You know, I like this is such like a like. There's obviously people that out there that are like Tame Impala's just one guy. Well, I feel like this is just kind of one of those things again. Like Bon Iver, Justin Vernon just went to his dad's cabin in Wisconsin and wrote this by himself, front to back, just with a guitar and a microphone. You know what I mean?
It's like it was like an SOS album too.
Exactly.
If you watch those like YouTube videos, I don't remember who made it, but you know what video I'm talking about, where he just talks about like that he had, what was it, mono?
He had mono. His girlfriend broke up with him. His band broke up. And he was in North Carolina when all this happened. So he went back home and wrote this just heartbreaking album. Like, I couldn't imagine listening to this after going through something. Like, regarding Stacks, I might... I don't know what I'm like.
Yeah,
I don't think I can say it, but...
I don't really remember the first time I heard it. I think Skinny Love was obviously the first time I heard it. But that's not like...
But you also have Birdie. You know Birdie, right? Yeah. And how her cover and everything. I feel like everyone kind of knows that one from, like, 2012. And now, you know what I mean? I didn't even think it. So I feel like that's how I got introduced to Bon Iver, because it was Birdie, and then I was like, okay, wait, this is a cover, and I really like this song, so let me listen to it more.
And that came out. This one came out in 2008.
Yep.
So. Yeah, I think for Emma is
what's your favorite song off of that?
Oh, it's regarding Stacks, but God, it's tough. I do really like I like Flume a lot, the first track.
That is my absolute favorite.
Yeah. There's actually not a song I don't like, but if I had to pick one to like leave at the end, it'd be Blindsided.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like I've made an edit to Blindside, like a TikTok edit.
Or Team, because it looks
Team is just sounds. It isn't. It's just like a wow.
That's probably why it's the only one in the album I don't have saved.
That's me too.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one I don't have saved. But Blindsided, I don't know. Blindsided is just kind of like, I feel like it could have gone for a really nice closing song off of this album. You know, like put it at the bottom, closing song. Because I made an edit, and I'm pretty sure it was like 2021. It was like the ending where he's like, and then like it just kind of closes off and then stops abruptly. Yeah. Like I feel like that's kind of like just a closing song, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. I could also see Wolves as an ender, because that's just intense at the end.
That's what I love.
Coming from a performance standpoint, I feel like that would be a good closer.
I've shown you the Glastonbury. Exactly. Like that, how he closed that off with the Wolves, and he was like...
Glastonbury, what year was it?
2000...
Roughly.
At what time? When did this come out? 2008?
Yeah.
This came out 2010, I think.
Okay. Either way.
Anyway,
we're going to put a clip of it.
Honestly.
I just want... I just
like at the end, like the entire crowd is just screaming. Like everyone just, it's not even like you don't even need to know Bon Iver. It's at Glastonbury. They're obviously, people are up front are probably there to see like another band. They're not there to see Bon Iver, but they're still like screaming their heads off because of this song.
Right.
And it's like just they're going crazy on the guitar, the drums. They're going crazy on everything. Crowds screaming.
Makes you appreciate them more, because it's like it's a little bit different than the album. Like it's just louder, obviously. Yeah. So, it's hard to, because I never saw him live before that video. I've never seen him live in person, but the video's like, especially since I only listened to the first album, it's hard to imagine him as a live artist. Like it would just be like awkward, or like an old fashioned folk concert where you just sit there and watch.
And that's exactly
but
how
then
it is.
Seeing that, I'm like, oh, it is fun. Like he could play a pop festival.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's my spiel about Bon Iver. That's our spiel. So Coldplay is my
Love
answer.
Bon Iver. That would be
Yes.
my pick.
Yes, I
Just
know it'd be
saying,
your pick.
That'd be my pick.
I know that'd be your pick, but that's a different this or that episode.
That's a
to-
different this
to
or that.
come.
All right.
Anyways,
So-
Coldplay was my answer, but
Coldplay.
glad we
or-
got Bon Iver's respect.
Exactly. I'm glad we got so deep into it because
Yes. Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Coldplay or Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. Give me Stevie Nicks. Give me Christy McVie. Christy McVie. This might be a controversial opinion or whatever. Christy McVie is. I like her better than Stevie Nicks.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like you like Everywhere other than like
Everywhere's
Dreams. Or
Everywhere is
something?
probably my favorite
Mhm.
Fleetwood Mac song. As of recently, that's been on repeat for me.
Okay.
Everywhere's been on repeat. Same with You Make Love and Fun.
Do you like Secondhand News?
I love Secondhand News.
Yup.
I love just all of those songs with her. It's just, I'm all for, as you know, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah.
I'd rather be listening to something that makes me want to go run, go high-five someone, go buy someone a damn Starbucks gift
Right.
card. Like, I'd rather listen to a song that gives me that joy than like a
Right.
song that's like about like breakup. You know, like there's a time
Mhm.
for that for me, but there's never a time where I can't listen to Christy McVie. So that's what I gotta
100%.
say.
Because I feel like every Stevie Nicks song, like obviously there's a story, and the one song that comes to mind that isn't about like a relationship is Rihanna.
Right.
It's just about like
Rihanna.
Ri-
right?
it's just Rihanna. Like it's like everyone's like, oh, Rihanna's a witch. Okay. And
Yeah,
like
right.
but everything else, like Storms, that's about, I'm not gonna get into it, but it's a relationship song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything she writes is about relationships. Extra 17, is that
That's a
about-
Stevie Nicks song.
Yeah,
though.
that's it. Okay, not Fleetwood Mac. Yep.
So
I see
now
what
if
you're-
that was a
yeah.
Fleetwood, because that's my favorite Stevie Nicks song.
Yeah.
If that was a Fleetwood Mac song, it might be a little bit different
Exactly.
with my answer. But Christy McVie, I love
Rest
her.
in peace,
Rest in
Christy
peace. She
McVie.
died last year.
Last year. And Stevie Nicks is actually going to be in the UK performing like a whole concert by herself on Christy McVie's birthday.
Wow.
Like in her hometown.
Wow.
So like if I heard Landslide, I might lose it.
Oh, that's such a good
With
song.
like a Christy McVie like edit in the back, black and white. Like her and Stevie Young and
I
everything.
could cry right now.
Ugh.
I love Stevie Nicks. No shade. Absolutely zero shade on her.
Mm-mm.
Christy McVie is my go-to. But Fleetwood Mac as a whole, give me Fleetwood Mac over, what was it? Coldplay?
It was Coldplay, yeah.
Give me Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. Fleetwood Mac or Hozier?
Fleetwood Mac.
Yep. Okay. Fleetwood Mac or Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I'm going to say I'd rather listen to Fleetwood Mac on a daily basis, but I've seen the Red Hot Chili Peppers in Syracuse, and I've also grown up with them a lot. And as a guitar player, I find John Frusciante, their lead guitar player, he's such, like, so when I saw them live and I saw him play guitar, I said, like, I literally thought to myself, like, that's what I want to do. You know, like, that's what I have to do. And that year I played my first ever acoustic show
Mhm.
with my buddy Will, shortly after, or before that show. But man, I saw John Frusciante and I was like, that's who I idolize. Like he's my hero. So Red Hot Chili Peppers for that reason. Just, you know, because of how much I idolize that band. So yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers. But that was a tough one because
Yeah.
I would like, because this is just the truth. I listen to Fleetwood Mac every day.
Yeah.
You know, but the RHCP.
RHCP or the Lumineers?
I'm gonna say RHCP.
Yeah.
But Lumineers, just so I don't throw them in the dust, like they had such a good era and like that whole like 2012,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that like folk pop Americana, like Irish
Yeah.
type, like Mumford and Sons. That was good, and then they kind of fell off, and then like the last couple of years they've been on the rise, and I've been happy for them because that music is so good. It's so refreshing to have this like the whole Zach Bryan, Noah Kahn, Lumineers, like it's so refreshing to have that be like literally the top music over rap right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody agrees rap is becoming a little bit desaturated, overplayed. It's the same. I feel bad because I don't listen to rap, so I don't really know.
No,
what's,
I can't
what's
give
new.
an opinion either.
So yeah, I don't want to give too much of an opinion, but I will say I'm happy to see that like I want to say folk. We'll call it folk.
Yeah.
Folk music is becoming the new number one. So
Yeah.
Lumineers, thank you for doing that. But Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Takes
okay.
it.
Red Hot Chili Peppers or Neil Young?
Well, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's what I
But
thought.
shout out Neil Young.
Shout out Neil Young. Okay, here's one that I'm interested for. Red Hot Chili Peppers or Allman Brothers Band?
Allman Brothers Band. Allman Brothers. Oh my God. That's another. Speaking of Christy McVie just making me so happy. Allman Brothers. Good God. Where do you even begin? Ramblin' Man is just like, if you want to just get into that music, if you want to get into jam band, if you want to get into Americana, folk, everything, you just start with the Allman Brothers. Like they're just, they're perfect.
Yeah.
Shout out the Allman Brothers.
Oh.
Dude, they're so good. Melissa takes you places that you've never been to before.
Speaking of which, I was going to bring this up earlier.
Yeah.
Trying to go back to on repeat for just 1 second. Melissa live with Dave Matthews Band featuring Greg Allman.
Yes.
That's been on repeat for me.
Oh,
I
so
love
good.
that song.
You throw in the violin.
Right?
On that
I
thing.
love that song.
Dave Matthews is such a good singer too. I can't lie. I love his voice.
That was a great
Greg
performance.
Allman's a great singer. What a beautifully written song. Too.
Exactly.
I know a lot of stories that people have with that song. I know there's a lot of good connections that people have. That's just, they've been a band that, for me at least, they've just like, since I've been a baby, like they've just been playing. They've been playing, and I don't know. I think it's more of a nostalgia thing. I think that's why I'm picking them. But
Yeah.
Allman Brothers Band. I'm gonna go with Allman Brothers.
Okay.
Anyways,
Allman Brothers Band or Zach Brown Band?
Shoot. I want to say Zach Brown because, well, hold on. Zach Brown is just all those things I said about having fun listening to music,
Yeah.
but on steroids. Like, it's just amplified. The amount of fun you have. We have. So for the viewers, we saw Zach Brown Band in November. The last show of their tour.
Okay. Yep.
Too much fun. Too much fun with Zach Brown Band. I've seen them 4 times live. You know what? Let's change it up. I'm gonna go Zach Brown Band.
Okay.
If there's
Oh my
no
God.
one else to love, keep me in mind.
Oh, okay. This next one.
Hold on.
Oh, you're not done.
Free by Zach Brown Band.
Let's talk about it for a
That-
second. Let's talk about it.
Is that not the greatest acoustic song written in the 21st century?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
100%.
Like the fact that they don't perform that live for like the last one, and they don't like erupt that like
Right.
10 by 10, because even in that song by itself, it like
Yeah.
erupts. All we need is love. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Like they need to do that live. You have the entire crowd like chills running down. Everyone's drunk. Someone's high in the crowd, but everyone is having a good time, and they're crying when they're gonna be listening to Free.
You can't.
That's all I
go
gotta
wrong.
say.
Can't go wrong with Zach Brown Band.
Hell no.
And you know what? I will say this about Zach Brown. I feel like a lot of the artists on this list that we've gone through, I don't and I can't listen to them with our generation.
Yeah.
You can't relate to other people when you're listening to. I mean, you can with Fleetwood Mac, but other than that, like Dave Matthews Band, that's not our generation.
No.
Grateful Dead, that's not our generation.
Bob Dylan.
No.
Right.
But if I go to a Zach Brown Band concert, that's like the only concert I can go to where there's like kids there and like we're all having fun. No egos are out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zach Brown, I got to go with Zach Brown, but it's not because I think the music is better. It's because of just everything else. So,
The energy.
and I feel like I'm going to regret some of my answers, but just for the sake of entertainment,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with Zach Brown.
This next one, I did it and I laughed to myself. You ready for this? Zach Brown Band or Creed?
Did you put that on the list like I was going to say Creed? But you did that for yourself.
I did, because that is funny. That's funny. That is funny.
It's Zach Brown.
Okay.
It's Zach Brown Band. I don't know any Creed songs besides "Can You Take Me Higher."
Shout out Scott from Creed.
Shout out just Creed. Did you know they're a Christian band, by the way?
Can you take me higher? Like,
Think about it. They're a
with
Christian-
arms wide open. Like,
oh my God. Can you
makes
take me
so much sense now.
It
Changes
makes-
everything, but
Dude,
makes
amen.
sense.
Amen. Not picking
Praise.
Creed though. Not picking Creed.
Okay. Zach Brown.
Bro thought he was onto something with that. He goes, Creed. Zach Brown Band.
Here we
We're
go.
getting weird. Dude, the fact we got from Bob Dylan and the Grateful Dead to Creed and Zach Brown Band up against each other.
Yup. Okay.
Holy shit.
Oh
Okay.
my God. Okay.
Anyways.
John Mayer is up here though, but we're still in Zach Brown Band.
Yes.
So-
This is a long segment. But we're really like, yeah, okay, we're 50 minutes into this. This is great. I love this.
This is good. Zach Brown Band or Goo Goo Dolls?
Goo Goo Dolls. Goo Goo Dolls.
Right.
Saw Goo Goo Dolls in Buffalo. That's their hometown. I told you that. You know that. Now everybody knows that though. Seeing, because this is another band that I grew up with in the house all the time. You don't have as many of our generation into the Goo Goo Dolls, but
Yeah.
every single person on Earth knows Iris, and everybody on Earth loves Iris.
Yeah.
So there's a song that I can relate with a lot of people on. But Goo Goo Dolls, they're great. I love them. I
Yeah.
love them. Seeing Iris live, I'll never forget it. You had fireworks and confetti and all that stuff. Got a real black balloon. Anyways, Goo Goo Dolls. Shout out Buffalo. Shout out Buffalo, New York. New York. Shout out Buffalo, New York. Go Bills. Next.
Goo Goo Dolls or Noah Khan?
All right. This was a quick answer for me.
Yeah.
This was a quick answer for me. It was Goo Goo Dolls, but seeing Noah Kahan. I still don't know. Is it Kahan or Khan?
Khan.
Okay, Noah Khan. We saw him live in October. That was fun. It was just fun. It was too much fun.
It was fun.
I got into him more after the show,
Mhm.
which has never happened to me because every show I go to, it's always like I'm a diehard fan
Mhm.
of all these artists. But Noah Khan, I got into more after.
Yeah.
Shout out Noah Khan. He's
Yeah.
killing it. Goo Goo Dolls, though.
Goo Goo Dolls or The Head of the Heart? I know this answer.
See, this one's good, though, because
Oh.
Lost in My Mind, I think I like more than any Goo Goo Dolls song.
Okay.
Matter of fact, that whole album is self-titled, right?
Yep.
Love that. Ghosts, love that one. Sounds Like Hallelujah has been on repeat.
Okay.
Speaking of. But I'd rather go to a Goo Goo Dolls show, so Goo Goo Dolls.
Okay. And then Goo Goo Dolls or Pearl Jam?
Pearl Jam,
Pearl
100%. 100%. Pearl Jam's good. They're one band you could play at a party, and people aren't going to question it as much as the rest of those people, besides like Zach Brown. But Pearl Jam's good. I think Pearl Jam is not my favorite, unfortunately. I know I have a lot of buddies that love Pearl Jam, and I do too. I think Just Breathe is like one of my favorite songs of all time, and I think the whole 10 album is probably the best album of the 90s.
Yeah.
Very honestly, I think that's probably the number one album in my opinion. Nirvana's Nevermind comes to mind, but yeah, Pearl Jam.
All right.
Is that it?
And then you have to do John Mayer versus Pearl Jam.
So okay, this is a good one. I have to go with John Mayer, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think Pearl Jam's great. I got nothing else to say. This or that. That was a long segment.
that was a long. That
But
was,
it was
20
good.
artists.
It was good because we broke it down. We had, we gave our opinions on everything, and I gave my reasons.
Yep.
And just so I don't get, mad at myself for picking all these, this is just right now. My opinion
Yeah.
could change tomorrow. I wish, honestly, Grateful Dead was more towards the end because they would probably be the winner.
Mhm.
But, you hit me with the pressing questions right at the beginning.
Exactly.
So I had to make some sacrifices. So that was good. I like that segment. Maybe we'll do that one more. But
Yeah. That was fun.
I don't know what we're talking about.
was
This is
fun.
good. And what we got other segments?
We got questioning game, and then we have campfire.
Questioning game. So we have a couple more segments. We're gonna rifle through these ones. These are gonna be good. So what did I call it? Did I have a specific name for it?
Just questioning.
Okay, questioning game. Questioning game. So now I'm gonna hand it over to Trey to give his not opinions, but he's gonna do a lot of talking in this segment because I'm gonna be quizzing him on the top 10 songwriters of all time according to Google. So I'm gonna get my laptop over here. So basically, I'm gonna give him time to guess the top 10. If he struggles, I'll help him. Top 10 songwriters, but we're gonna jump right into this. Of all,
And this top 10 list again, it's Google, not us.
okay, so let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Should I go by Rolling Stone or should I go American song?
American songwriting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with. Oh boy, I don't know if I should do. This is gonna take me a minute to scroll to the bottom. It's the 100 greatest on Rolling Stone. Let me just make sure this is a good list because we're gonna be biased here. And okay, I'm gonna have to help you. I'm gonna help you with some of these.
Okay.
But I think that this list is. I don't want to say it's good, but I think it's fine. So we're gonna do the top 10 songwriters of all time. I'm gonna let you guess. Can you guess the top 10 songwriters of all time? I'll give you the numbers if you guess it correctly.
Okay. Is Joni Mitchell on there?
So Joni Mitchell is on here. She is Joni Mitchell is number 9.
Really?
Joni Mitchell's number 9. Speaking of Joni Mitchell being, a big topic of conversation for us this show. Yeah.
Okay. Is Bob Dylan on there?
Bob Dylan's number 1.
Okay. Good. Is Neil Young on there?
Neil Young is not on here.
Whoa. Okay. Trying to think who else. Taylor Swift isn't on there, right?
She's not on here.
Good. Sorry, Swifties. Good.
Good. Glad she's not on there. Sorry, Swifties. Just gonna adjust that. So. Okay, much better. I just have a huge shadow behind me now. But this is. I look like I'm gonna haunt you in your dreams, guys. Don't worry about the setup. We're gonna figure it out. Look at I have like my whole shadow.
This is good.
But yeah, this setup's very DIY. Let's get back to the top 10 songwriters of all time. So top 10 songwriters of all time.
Right.
You have number 9, Joni Mitchell. You have number 1,
Bob Dylan.
Right. Okay.
Is John Mayer on there?
He's not on there.
Okay.
You say
okay.
John Mayer?
I'm just looking at this list, trying to from your this or that list and see.
No, he's not on there.
Okay.
I don't think he's in the 100.
Is Stevie Nicks?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You have.
Trying to think.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. A lot of you got to think 70s singer songwriter acoustic. So Neil Young was a good guess. In that framework. I'm gonna go ahead and give you number 5 is Smokey Robinson.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't have gotten that. We also have some guitar players on here, which is a little interesting.
Stevie Ray Vaughan isn't on there,
No.
right? I didn't know.
He's not a good songwriter. He's a good guitar player,
Okay.
but we do have a lot of instrumentalists here that you wouldn't. Some of them you would be like, oh, okay, songwriters. Yeah, I guess they are, but I thought they were a guitar player. There's a couple of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
Think 60s, 70s.
60s, 70s. Okay, last 60. Okay, we've played this before off camera, and Frank Sinatra's not on there, right?
He's not.
Good.
He's not. I don't think he actually wrote a lot of his songs.
Good.
He might have.
Okay.
But I think Frank Sinatra's great.
Frank Sinatra, it took me 10 minutes to try to figure out Frank Sinatra.
Shout out Frank Sinatra.
Shout out Frank Sinatra.
Shout
Don't
out.
know that much about you, but
No.
apparently
He's dead.
Rest in peace.
Right. He's dead, right? He's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's gone.
He's dead. Anyways.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Who else is a good songwriter?
Think like I would start thinking about bands, like the greatest bands of all time, and
Pink
who's
Floyd.
no, nobody from Pink Floyd.
No one.
Nobody from Pink Floyd is on there.
Okay.
Led
Zeppelin.
No Led Zeppelin.
But Fleetwood Mac isn't on there.
No,
right?
nobody from Fleetwood Mac.
70s bands though.
70s, 60s. Yeah.
Beatles. Oh, Paul McCartney and John Lennon.
Paul McCartney is number 2. John Lennon is number 3. So you have the first 3, right? And you got number 9, and I gave you 5, which is Smokey Robinson.
John Lennon. Okay. More 70s, 60s bands, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Elvis isn't on there, right?
No Elvis. He didn't write his songs.
Oh, he didn't? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big Elvis hater, so
Okay.
that's why I had to say that.
Speaking of Elvis, if you've seen the movie Priscilla, all I'm going to say, fuck Elvis. Bleep that out if you need to. Hate Elvis after watching that movie. That's why
I don't like Elvis, so I don't have any problem.
I
with
do
you
not like
saying
Elvis at all.
I don't have any
He was
problem
an
with you saying that.
asshole in that movie. Oh.
And Elvis the movie, hated that movie.
I didn't even get to...
Austin Butler is not Elvis.
Dude, change your voice.
Yeah.
Like, it is not that serious. You're done with the movie for 3 years now. You're in Dune 2. Change your voice.
You see him like before Elvis and after in interviews. He's like, "Hi, I'm Austin Butler," and then
It's
after he's
like,
like, "My name's
"Oh,
Austin Butler.
Go
I'm
watch Dune. Like,
hosting SNL." Anyways.
Shut up, dude.
No Elvis on here. No Elvis.
Get a vocalist or something, please.
Yeah.
Okay, Prince. Is he on there?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'm gonna give you a little help. Number 7 is Carole King.
Okay.
And she is also the only female besides Joni Mitchell on here.
Really?
So the rest are males. We have number 10 is a really favored keyboard player.
Oh, blind dude. Oh, what's his
Yes.
name? What's his name? Oh, Stevie, right? Stevie
Wonder. Stevie
there we
Wonder
go.
is number 10.
Okay, guys, I got that. Don't say I didn't get that. I got that.
Yes.
I've seen the We Are the World documentary.
Yes,
when
there
he
you
tries
go.
to sing like Bob Dylan. And
So you're missing 4,
6 and 8.
4, 6, and 8.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a little help with 8. 8, I already talked about them. The band that this person's in today. When I was talking about towards the beginning of the podcast on repeat, I didn't say I was. You know what? I'm not helping you, but I did mention their name today.
Okay.
This fella is a 70s songwriter. He did a lot of solo work after he left his group. His music is in a lot of movies. His music is in Garden State, the movie we just watched together. I'm trying to give you as much help without
When you say Garden State, the band that comes to mind is the Shins.
the Shins, but it's not. It's
I
not
know
the
that.
guy from the Shins.
The Shins. Okay. Okay.
I love how dark it's getting in here. This is getting
know.
so intimate.
I
Like
know.
it's weird, but it's fine.
Okay, this is number 8, right?
Yes.
It isn't Queen, isn't Freddie Mercury. He
Nope.
did right?
Nope.
It's 70s though.
I want to give you a song that he wrote, but
would that give it away?
it might. I'm
Just
gonna
say
give
it.
you. I'll give you one that like you might not know as well. Bridge Over Troubled Water. He wrote this song. Covered heavily. Willie Nelson covered the song. He also wrote the song Graceland off of the album Graceland.
We've
Um,
talked about this, right?
Yes, you know who this is. You know who this is. I know, but I know you don't listen to him that much. I'm just trying to help out.
We've talked about Graceland.
Since you're still struggling, in Garden State, the song that he wrote that's in that movie is The Only Living Boy in New York.
Oh, Simon.
What's
Oh.
his first name?
Paul
Simon.
Simon?
There
Yeah.
you go. Number 8 is Paul Simon. I think that's an interesting take for Rolling Stone, but I'm okay with that. I think Paul Simon's great.
Okay. 6 and 4. Okay. Could I get a hint for 6?
Yeah, so 6 is they have 2 people as number 6 as a duo. but
duo.
I've never really.
Is it Sonny and Cher?
No, I've never considered these two to be a songwriting duo, but I guess it makes sense.
Okay.
This is another band from the 60s that are still making music today. They're often compared in the top 10 bands of all time. These two folks.
And they were both in the same band.
They're still in the same band.
Still in it. The band is still going?
Band is all still alive except their drummer recently died.
Do I know the drummer?
I don't know if you know the drummer. You definitely know the band. You know the band 100%.
And it's a 60s band?
Yes, 60s band. UK band.
Oh.
British band.
Okay. Not the Smiths.
No.
Not Morrissey.
You got to go a little bit farther back.
Not the Beatles. We've already talked about the Beatles.
But that's the closest band to these guys.
Are you sure I know this band?
110%. They're often considered like better than the Beatles,
Whoa.
but that's not true. That's not true.
Okay. Okay, could I get a hint for 4? I'll come back to 6.
All right, 6 you'll come back to. So 4, this guy is I'm going to read what Rolling Stone had to say about this guy. I'll give you the first sentence. He was rock and roll's first singer-songwriter and music's first guitar hero. Let's see what else. He wrote, I'll give you a couple songs. He wrote Maybelline, No Money Down. I'm not going to give you his bigger hits
Why?
because it's so obvious. If I give you his biggest...
What about the third most popular song?
Maybelline, probably. I would guess
What
Maybelline.
about the second?
Oh, God. I'd have to think off the top of my Spotify. I got it right here. So this guy, he's a guitar hero. Back to the Future did kind of like a little spin-off on this guy. Marty McFly portrayed this guy.
Oh. I could see the scene right now. I just don't.
Roll Over Beethoven. He did a good rendition of that.
Oh, what is that name? Oh.
I'll give you the riff that he wrote that's in every song.
Oh Oh, I don't know his name.
His name's Chuck Berry.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten
You
that.
wouldn't have gotten Chuck Berry?
No. Swear to
Dude.
God.
This is what
Chuck Berry.
This is what we mean,
What
though.
band was he in?
He was just Chuck Berry.
Oh, it was just,
He's
Chuck,
just Chuck
Berry.
Berry,
Yeah, I
yeah.
would not have gotten that.
Interesting.
Like, I
Run,
could-
Rudolph, Run, Johnny Be Good.
I know those songs. I don't know who sings them.
Really?
Because I'm not looking at
That's
like who
wild.
sings them. I'm like, okay, I know this song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
Like some songs, I'm like, oh my
that's
god.
where we differ, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Okay, then number 6, 2 guys, 1 band.
This is your last one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I feel like you should get because this one you know, like this one is not. Let's see.
Have we talked about them?
Oh yeah, all the time. I listen to them so much. Man, let me think of like. They did the album Some Girls. That's one of their albums.
Some girls.
Yeah. Let me see if there's any other albums.
It's
that
not anyone off the Rolling Stones, right? That's 70s. Oh, what's that motherfucker's name? What's his name?
Give me one or the other. They have 2 people from that band as the greatest.
Oh
song.
my god.
So give me one.
What is that?
You got the lead singer and the guitar
I can see
player.
him right now.
Can you see the guitar player? Remember that I couldn't get this when I was guessing.
I forget the guitar player's name.
Okay, well the front man of the Rolling Stones.
Everyone.
You're
knows
embarrassing everyone.
I know. Everyone knows his name though, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those names.
Yeah.
Like I can see his face right now. You don't always get what you want, isn't that?
Yes.
Song? I can see him like right now in that.
Maroon
video.
5 did a song about this guy. I Got the Moves Like.
Mick Jagger.
There we
oh
go.
my god.
We finally got
That's
to the end of
embarrassing.
this.
Oh my god, that's embarrassing.
The way that I had to help you with Maroon 5 is my alibi. Oh my god, that is too good.
Oh my
I think that
God.
list it's not the worst list. I don't know as if I agree with Chuck Berry being on there, and I definitely don't agree with like God, Joni Mitchell
Smokey
fits.
Robin. Who the fuck
Smokey
is
Robinson, he did like, what did he do? Oh My Girl.
Oh, okay.
Get Ready. Yeah, he did all Tracks of My Tears. I think that's okay. I don't know if he's number 5 though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Neil Young was a good guess. I feel like he should be on here, but whatever. Yeah. Bob Dylan number 1. That's all I'm concerned about.
Okay.
So yeah, that leaves us with our last segment.
Campfire.
Campfire.
Pink Floyd story.
So
okay,
Campfire is a good segment because it's going to be a little bit more raw, a little bit more natural. We're not really giving our music opinions and our facts and guesses. We're just going to talk. So to keep it music related for the first episode, we're going to talk about the time that we saw Pink Floyd Laser Light Show tribute. As it wasn't even a band.
No, it was just like music over top while the lasers and visuals were going.
Right. So this was like a month ago, St. Petersburg, Florida. Got last second idea. I don't think the tickets weren't all that expensive.
It was like, what, $50?
Yeah. So, and we love Pink Floyd. We both love Pink Floyd. So it was just kind of like a little like, ooh, laser light show, like in this weird auditorium. So let's just start the story with, we get in the Uber, and the Uber takes us to the wrong spot. The name of the venue, I don't remember what it was called.
I don't know what it was called either, but it's like owned by like I don't even like what was the place, like an electrical company,
right.
Like the electrical company's corporate building, and then you have the electrical company's like theater drama building,
like whatever. Raymond James Stadium type of vibe,
like,
right?
Exactly.
So we get dropped off at the wrong place, get another Uber to the right place.
I got yelled at by a robot in that Uber.
AI is crazy. AI is crazy.
Yeah, the Uber driver's like, you're gonna let a robot tell you to buckle up. Yeah, dude, we're 5 minutes away.
So for context, you got in the car and it was like, buckle your seatbelt so you don't die or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's whatever. Moving on, we get to the venue. First thing I notice is like, what is this demographic? You got for one. I see these kids, like, you know, skater-ish, baggy clothes.
They thrift every weekend. None of their clothes are natural. They're all thrifted. They probably smoke weed like it's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that explains that. But then you got the real, like, old heads, Pink Floyd fans. You got, like, guys with ponytails. You got, dude, there's this one guy, I don't remember, he had like a zebra print, like full suit, and it was just like all rainbow colored.
Oh,
like,
I don't remember that.
people that are just like very into this lifestyle. Like Pink Floyd is a life for them. It's not like just a band.
Never forget the guy that had, what was it? Flip-flops, khakis, a shirt, and a blazer on.
Right. Like,
what an outfit.
And like sunglasses inside at like 9 p.m.
Yup. Sunglasses inside. Then you have like the little kids
that are just there with their parents or their grandparents.
Yeah, and then that'll come in and play later on with what we saw.
Right. You know, you got, because then you have like the people that are dressed like fancy and like they just went to dinner and now this is their after dinner thing. Like, let's go see Pink Floyd, and we're just there like what is going on? Like, are we at the right spot? You know. So we get to our seats. You know, don't know what to expect. They gave us these 2 pairs of glasses, and they're basically 3D glasses, but they're not 3D.
No, they're just they're like a kaleidoscope. Is that what it's called?
Like they just Roy G. Biv going on. So we're wearing those during the show, so the lasers are all like in your face. You're not watching them; they're like literally in your eyeballs.
Yeah.
So that's going on. And Trey, you had an interesting person sit next to you. I don't remember her name.
I'd never got her name, but there was this like, imagine like this white woman whose kids are probably in college. She is just living her life. Like, she has a glass of wine and it's just cracking up. Oh my God. And I'm the type of person, like, if a person is cracking up, I'm gonna laugh right back at them, right at their face. And I'm laughing. I'm like, and I'm the type of person also that, like, when I laugh, I kind of like hit you. So I hit her, wine spills. And just during the entire show, she is talking to me. I told her what I want to be. I want to go into the medical field. And, like, the visuals were interesting because there's like
a heart.
A 3D heart. A 3D heart. And the entire time, she's like, you got to know that. You got to know that heart, that 4-chamber heart. I'm like, woman, please, like,
Comfortably Numb is playing. Like,
right?
let me
like,
enjoy this.
Can I, like,
Yeah.
please? The entire time I'm like videoing. We'll probably insert a clip of me videoing, and you can hear her in the background laughing at me. And then, what was that one song? Another Brick in the Wall, when they're like, we don't need no education. She's like screaming at us, yes, you do. Don't listen to them. I'm like, please.
Oh my God. She was a treat. Like
I love her.
So fun.
I miss her. Her husband was fed up.
He knew that happens every time they go out. And
like,
I kind of felt
there was a guy next to us. Like, the show happened in 2 parts. It was like Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall. Like, Dark Side of the Moon happened. Then she got up and left. The guy behind me, he taps her. He's like, what is your deal? I'm like, we're just laughing. He's like, oh, okay. Then she gets me, like, the program. He's like, can I see that? I'm like, sure. Like, I don't know. It was
a weird experience.
Weird experience, but I recommend it to anyone.
No, if you're a Pink Floyd fan, go. Because you're
Yeah.
not going to, like, unless you could see Roger Waters live, David Gilmour live, like, that's obviously probably good. But this light show, it was good budget, easy for us to go. Small little auditorium. The guy that ran it was a little weird because you never saw him. He was just on a microphone like, he liked Pink Floyd. Do you want more Pink Floyd? And then it was just lasers.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, if you ever get the opportunity to see any Pink Floyd laser light show tribute, what was it called? Like Pink Floyd Spectacular or something?
Laser Light Show Spectacular or something, yeah.
I think we'll probably put the clips over that one part.
Yeah.
We got clips of this lady. God bless her soul.
Love her.
Oh
Love
my gosh,
her.
that was good.
I miss her sometimes. Like, I wish I could just sit down with her at a not entertainment event, like on a back porch somewhere, like with a beer in my hand and a glass in hers, and have like she's the type of woman that you would see outside of a bar, and she will give you like a life story, and you will take that with you. Like,
And she's got no shame.
No, like, it'll change your life.
Oh my God, it was a good night.
Oh my God, we gotta talk about the
We're
Uber
talking
back.
about this lady that's just like has no idea we're talking about her.
I've never got her name. She never got mine. I'll never see her again.
Just the epitome of a white woman.
White woman. Like, when you say white woman, I would bring this lady with me because, like, she was, oh my God. I don't even know how to describe her other than white woman. That's it.
But that was fun. It was fun.
It was a lot.
Except the Uber back was not fun.
All you.
God, I'm trying to remember. I just remember the Uber back was a pedophile.
Oh,
100%.
100% pedophile.
So let's explain why. So we get in the car. Somebody cracks a joke, whether it was you, me, I don't remember.
It was him because we get in. We're like, how are you? He's like, good. It was like
just one of those guys
5-second
that talks too much, like tells you a little too much.
Yes.
So anyways, he cracks a joke, and then he just starts laughing. Then we laugh too. And then he's like, oh, if you laugh, I'm going to keep laughing. He laughs for 15 minutes straight. Get back into the city of Tampa from St. Petersburg. Pull up next to this car. How do I say this for the internet? He starts yelling not racial slurs, but he's like yelling about how he has
white privilege.
He is, and that's not okay.
No.
Internet.
No.
That's not okay. But anyways, and it was a white guy in the car next to us at the stoplight, and he's like, yeah, I'm just enjoying my white privilege. And we're in the back like, this is an Uber. Like,
we're literally 3 minutes away from where we got to be dropped
like,
off.
can we, like, let's just not get in trouble. Like, we're in an Uber. Guy, shut up. And I remember, like, after we drove off, he was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Like, duh, you shouldn't have said that. Anyways, white guy to white guy, he's like, oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm just enjoying my white privilege. Guy of not white descent pops out of the back car door window, and the Uber driver's like, oh shit, go. I shouldn't have said that. Oh well.
He's driving off as he's being cussed at from the car next to us. I'm like,
this could be
Jesus
like, we
Christ.
just saw Pink Floyd. That's how you know we're dying.
Right, like, that was it. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, just to
holy
segue
shit.
into that, like, the city of Tampa is a wild place, and
And
it's
I
fun.
would never. I don't want to be anywhere else. I love it
No,
here.
it's fun.
What stories?
Yeah.
do we have from just being in Tampa?
Tampa is a great place. It's got a lot of diversity, a lot of walks of life, a lot of people from all different places in the world.
Yeah.
And it's got us, and it's got the home of Tune HQ.
Tune HQ.
This is Tuned In, the show by Tune HQ. Do we have anything else to talk about?
That is it for today.
Wow. We got through that in about an hour and like 10-ish minutes, an hour and 15. That was too much fun. We had fun.
I had fun. Now I like just talking like this.
We had fun, honestly. It's a little hard to get adjusted to the microphones in front of us, but we got a good setup, and I think we're gonna have some people listening to this. I hope so.
Oh, 100%.
So shout out to the TikTok fans.
Shout out to the people that watch this.
Shout out to anybody that's listening to our voices right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, this has been Tuned In. My name's Jake. This is my co-host Trey. We'll see you in the next episode. I guess that's it, right?
That's it.